Okay guys, quick update with Bitcoin. So yes, we did cross the ring. You can see we're now testing it as support. We need to hold above that ring. And as I said previously, if you watch previous videos, I mentioned every time we cross one of those blue rings, we always go higher. That does not mean we could not bounce down this ring to a key support level. So that's what I'm going to do, is give you those key support levels to pay attention to. Those would be great points to enter along. That being said, if we drop back below that blue ring with the daily candle open, you might want to be more cautious because that could have been a fake out. So we're going to cover all of this as well as potential upside targets if this ring does play out like the previous rings. And remember what I said, guys. Every time we cross one of these previous rings, we always get a pump. There's no reason to think differently this time. So we're going to cover the hourly time frame as well. We're going to cover some, we're going to look at the heat map to look for some confluence for upside targets. And potentially the highest point I think this would go if we do continue up, a great point to take profit. Guys, we can leverage trading. 3 exchanges I use and trust are BingX and CoinCatch. Remember, CoinCatch has no KYC in the States. Some states in the US, you do not even need a VPN. You can do up to 125 times leverage. BingX, you can do up to 150 times leverage. If you want to sign up to any of those exchanges, the link's pinned in the first comment and description. If you want to learn how to trade on BitGet, this tutorial video I put up teaching you how to open a long, a short, set a stop loss, just your stop loss, trigger orders, all that. Link up this video now if you want to watch it. Remember, once you learn how to trade on one, you can trade on them all. This is a previous video I put up, guys, just telling you, look, now I did tell you I was in a short. I said as long as we were below 67,600, I would remain short. If we got above that point, I would get stopped out, and then I would go long. Your key support level was 66,000. That was this wedge that was tested as support. I'll link this video now if you haven't checked it out. Further into the video, I was also showing you an hourly time frame. 66,761 was our key support. That did hold, and we pushed up from that point. I get a lot of flack, guys, for, I don't know why, but you know, some of the charts that I give you, I think I have some of the most accurate targets, probably more accurate than most other YouTubers. We were, this is the H1 chart. And understand, so when we break out of patterns, you know, I have targets above that typically you couldn't find that target unless you had these charts the way I create them. So we pushed up. You can see we pushed up from that level there. We continued straight up. We're now across the ring, got a daily open above it. But I made a post and said, look, we just made contact with the H1 chart. This would be a point to potentially scalp a short, or pay attention to see if we get above and hold and continue up. And you can see we actually got rejected at that point. Now we did get a little scan wick that pushed up, and there's some media candle is below. So now your current strongest resistance right now is 71,628. So we need to cover your key support levels. We're going to do that first, and then we're going to cover potential upside targets, how high this could go. Let's see here. So let's go back. Let's go to this chart. So right now you can see we pushed up. Now again, what I was saying was price could push up. We get a daily open above, that would be bullish. Or if price went sideways, when we get a daily open above, that'd be bullish. But you can see we are now testing this ring on the daily. So these are the levels you need to pay attention to and potential points to enter along. So 69,508 in today's candle is support. That is a ring. You see we got a bounce right on the ring. Tomorrow, so the next daily candle open, your next key support level is going to be around 69,094, right? But it looks to be, so 69K needs to hold. That level needs to hold for us to push up higher. Now let's say that the next daily candle, let's say we come down below 69K today or tomorrow, and we get a daily open, let's say below 69K, that would be bearish because now we're back below this ring, and that could have been a fake out. But for now, if we go by these rings, and do watch the previous video, I did cover why these blue rings are so important. Every time we cross one of these blue rings, we always get a pump. But that does not mean we cannot bounce down this ring. We could do something like this. We could come down, we could push up, come back down, do something like this. Even drop as low as potentially 68,500 on the 25th of May. And then we continue to push higher. But as long as we get daily opens above this ring, I think that is bullish. The previous ring, let's go back and look. And by the way, guys, if you don't get access to these live charts in Discord, if you want to sign up, the link is pinned in the first comment description. It's opticalcrypto.com. If you do sign up, make sure you email me through the website, get access to Discord. Let me zoom out and show you this last blue ring we crossed. So right here you can see, and this is on the daily, you can see that we pushed up, it was resistance. We came up, we found support again, and then we pushed up. So it took about 3 days, and on the 4th day we started pushing up. If we go to the ring before that, let's go to this previous blue ring back here. Zoom out a bit. You can see this ring, it took a while. It actually took, once we crossed the ring, we actually dropped, moved down the ring, and actually we actually got a daily open below. But you can see we did eventually push up once we crossed the ring. But once we crossed it again, we pushed below it. And this could play out as well, guys. That's what I'm saying. Just the rings are just indicators that it's possible big moves coming. You notice that we pushed above it. You would think, okay, well, we should have gone higher. We got below it, but once we got a daily open above it again, it took a total of about 20 days before we started pushing up. But again, you can see every time we cross one of these blue rings, we typically push up higher. So we have crossed the blue ring, we got a daily open above, so it does seem likely that we are going to push up from here. So I would pay attention, again, 69,500, tomorrow's candle, we need to stay above 69,122. The next day, again, it's a ring, you know, it's angled down. As long as we stay above, we get daily opens above, I would stay bullish. But your most key support levels now are around 69K down to potentially 68,343. If we get back below this with daily opens, then that could be bearish for more downside. And the top of that wedge that we broke up, well, that we tested as support, you know, if it's a few days out, that's around 65,358. That would be bearish in my opinion because we're back under this ring. But again, same thing. If we happen to come back down and then we push back above it and then we start holding above it, then it's bullish again. But that's what I was saying in that last video, that just because we crossed it does not mean we're going to go straight up. It just means now it's possible that we could see a lot more upside. I do want to give you some upside targets, but I would like to look at the heat map to get some ideas. So if you'll notice, if you look over here, there's not much liquidity below, but you can see there's a lot of liquidity above. You can see right here 72K, there's a lot of liquidity here, all the way up to 76K. So it makes sense if they're going to push price up, if we cross this ring, that's a target to watch. And if we look at some targets I have on this chart, so your first key resistance that we need to pay attention to, if we hold above 71,677, you know we're going much higher. Your next resistance is 73,744. Above that, this is around 76K. And keep in mind, this is on the hourly. So the further out this is, the higher that number gets. But that's around 76,000. And that does match the heat map up here around 76K. So that is a target to pay attention to, all right? If we drop, and again, like I said, it looks like 69K is your critical support that needs to hold. 69K down to 68,400. So again, as long as we're holding above these levels, all right, above that blue ring, stay bullish. If that becomes resistance, then we can see some more downside. But these are your targets to scalp. And again, this was posted in Discord. We came up, we hit it, we got rejected. You could keep your long open from below. You can scalp a short, take profit on your short, price pushes back up, and continue to ride your long. But these are your scalping targets on the 1 hour. And again, this is the D1 chart. So I just want to give you some, we're going to look at the weekly chart as well. If we do push up, I'm just going to give you your next resistance level above on this chart. That would be this line right here. That would be the next line we would respect if we push up. Let me make this brighter so you can see it. So if we continue up, again, that is a target to pay attention to. That is up here around, and again, the longer it takes to hit that target, the higher the price will be. And if we pushed up today, that would be around 80,730. You know, if it's weeks out, that could be around 83,000. But that would be your next key resistance level to potentially open a short or take profit on your long and wait to see if you hold above that, then enter another long. If you're just riding it up, guys, if you're just buying spot, again, as long as we hold above this blue ring, I would stay in. But again, this is more for scalping. If you're looking for points to take profit or, you know, enter short, that would be your next major resistance level to pay attention to. The one just above that, and this will be respected, guys. If you watch my tutorial videos, you understand how I create these charts. You'll understand why these targets are respected. So if we hold above 81,700, well, your next point to watch is up around 89,000. So this is just more closer support resistance levels on the daily. I do want to cover the weekly real quick, and we're going to cover Nvidia also. So this is the weekly. Now this is interesting because while I am just going by the daily for the D1 chart, again on the daily we are above this blue ring. So again, to me that is bullish. This would be a point to enter along. On the weekly, we have not crossed it yet. And of course, we have what, over 5 days before the next weekly candle open. Now, obviously, a weekly candle open above this blue ring would be very bullish. Right now, that upside target, you see we got rejected at the ring, is right around 71,441. So if we get the next weekly candle open above 70,300, that will be extremely bullish, because now we crossed the ring not only on the daily but the weekly as well. I would like to point out that the top Bollinger Band on the weekly is setting up around 80,000. Again, more confluence for 80,000. If we pushed above that, in previous videos I've talked about these lines. I'll have to, if I can find that video, I'll put it in the description. But your most key resistance is going to be, now if this pushes up, if we get one hell of a pump, I would be looking to take profit up around potentially, again, if we get above the top Bollinger Band on the weekly, I'd be looking to take profit around 92,000. I think this red line and this yellow line would potentially be the top. Now, if we're further out, you know, we could go up to 92,600. But I would not hold. I'm telling you, if we started just pushing up, I would get out or take profit on my long around. Again, depends when you make contact. If it's sooner, maybe 89,000. If it takes longer, 91,800. I do not think we'll get above this. It's going to be a very strong resistance level. The strongest resistance level I have above that is up around 103,000. I don't think we'll go that high. Again, I think you're pushing it if you stay in past 88,000 around that area. But again, where these two lines converge right here or intersect, that's a lot of resistance. All right, and if I zoom out, I can show you why this is the case. I don't want this video to run too long, and I did not plan this out, so I apologize for that. But as you can see, this red line, I ran it back. This is a very key support and resistance level that goes way back. This line right here. So you can see that was support, all right, so that will be resistance. So that's why you need to pay attention to that level. And if you notice this yellow line, right, let me get rid of this here. You notice this yellow line right here, that's basically just the top wicks. So again, that's what I'm saying. And this right here, this is actually a curve, and that's kind of showing, again guys, I'm not going to go into that. I'm just going to show you that these are your upside targets. I don't think if we do get a major pump, I do not see us going above that target. 89,000, if you got up to 91,000, get the hell out, take your profit, consider yourself lucky. But again, this is just a curve, and this is not really something I would go by as a resistance level. It's just to give an idea. If I zoom out, I can show you what I did there. So you can see that curve basically just shows the peaks. There's a peak here, peak here, peak here, peak here, here, and that just happens to be where that curve is. I would not play that, but that does look like if we pushed up, that would be potentially a macro top for this cycle. So at least you have that target. But again, if this continues up, the target I would be paying attention to would be this red line here. So when you make contact, that'd be when you take profit on your long and potentially look at a point too short. But again, it would be more bullish for me if we get a weekly open past this ring. So we'll have to pay attention to that. Again, this 5 days out. But for now, on the daily, let's just pay attention. I will keep you guys updated, but do pay attention to these levels. If we get daily opens in the next, I know today, tomorrow, next 3 days, if you get daily opens below 69K or 68K, that would be bearish because we're back below this blue ring. In the meantime, as long as we hold above this blue ring, above these key support levels, I would stay bullish for more upside. I want to cover Nvidia really quick. So this will be interesting. So the earnings report for Nvidia comes out on the 22nd. Today is the 21st, so that would be tomorrow. So as I've showed you with this red ring here, every time we cross, actually these rings become support. Notice when markets open, we pushed right up to this ring. It was support, and again, this is Nvidia, guys. Support, support. Every time we cross the ring, we get a drop. Doesn't mean we get a big drop, but we know we get a drop. Same thing happened here. Once we made contact with the ring, we rode up it, we crossed it, we got a drop. So all I'm showing you is we cross it, you know that's a point to enter a short or buy some puts because you know we're going to drop. Now, you take profit, you take profit when you want to take profit. I just give you the points to pay attention to for a move. It could be a big move, it could be a small move, but I think more than likely what's going to happen is when earnings come out, I think it's possible we're probably going to push up, get some kind of pump, just like happened back here. And then I think it's very likely price will start dropping. Now again, you decide when you want to take profit on your short or your puts. I'm just letting you know it's very possible that earnings come out and it's right by this ring. So it could be a pump and dump. We push up. Once we're past this ring, and that would be the point you'd want to look to open a short or buy some puts to write it down, and then you take profit when you want. But I can tell you most key support levels for Nvidia is going to be down around, and again, that's a lot of support. You got a fib channel line here, right? And you got this right here this is the top of a gap that has not been filled yet. That is around 743. And then to fill that gap is all the way down here around 675. And you do have a moving average starting to move up to this area, which is further confluence. I'm not saying we have to drop that far, guys. It's just something to pay attention to. But regardless, however this plays out, you know, within the next few days, if once we cross that ring, I'd be looking to open some puts or short, and then you decide when you want to take profit or if you want to hold it. But it does look like we could get a slight pump and then a drop, and then we'll see what happens from there. But I did want to cover Nvidia and Bitcoin. Just want to make sure you have those key targets. So right now, again, 69,000, 68,000, 413. And you can see that there's a lot of confluence. And we are testing this ring now. So one more time, if today we get a daily open below, let's say 68,700, we're back below that ring. And then what played out previously that showed you 2 rings back could play out as well. We could drop back below this ring, something like this, you know, hit support somewhere, and then when we cross it, then it would be bullish and we push back up. So be very cautious, longing, try to find the best entry. These are your best entries. If we drop 69,100 down to 68,400 around that area, but if we get below that point, then we can start heading down to hit some lower targets. Again, guys, when we get leverage trading, 3 exchanges I use and trust are Big at BingX and CoinCatch. CoinCatch is no KYC. BingX up to 150 times leverage. So if you want to sign up for those 3 exchanges, BitGet as well. The links are pinned in the first comment and description. If you want to get access to these live charts in Discord, you can sign up. The link is pinned in the first comment description. It's optarcrypto.com. Make sure you email me through the website to get access to Discord. That's it, guys. Let's see how this plays out. I will keep you updated. I'm out.